Hi everyone, my name is Audrey and welcome to my channel. Today I am bringing you my August TBR.
Maybe I'm not sure, so why don't you change my mind? 'Cause baby I'm not sure, but let's take a chance this time. And I can't remember the last time I saw you cry. I don't wanna do it, I had to, you know it. I hate when we say goodbye. 'Cause I'm coming back around. You know I'm always coming back around to meet ya. You know I'll do anything to come and see ya. You know I'm always coming back around to meet ya. You're always waiting there for me. Your loving's always set me free. Always waiting there for me. Your loving's always set me free. Yeah. It's already winter, and I'm starting to forget the smell of your hair, the taste of your lips. I wish I was there instead. And why is it bitter? 'Cause you're hardly in my bed. I'm leaving this place to come see your face. I'm not stopping till I'm dead. 'Cause I'm coming back around. You know I'm always coming back around to meet ya. You know when I'm all alone I really need ya. You know I'm always coming back around to meet ya. You're always waiting there for me. Your loving's always set me free. You know I'm always coming back around to meet ya. You know when I'm all alone I really need ya. You know I'm always coming back around to meet ya. You're always waiting there for me. Your loving's always set me free. Always waiting there for me. Your loving's always set me free. No, no, no. 'Cause I'm coming back around. No, no, no. No, no, no. 'Cause I'm coming back around. You know I'm always coming back around to meet ya. You know when I'm all alone I really need ya. You know I'm always coming back around to meet ya. You're always waiting there for me. Your loving's always set me free. You know I'm always coming back around to meet ya. You know I'll do anything to come and see ya. You know I'm always coming back around to meet ya. You're always waiting there for me. Your loving's always set me free.
When you're gonna pick up, call too many times. Text back saying sorry I'm drunk. Why do I even try? Argue in circles for hours, 'cause what else can we do? Seems so sweet when it started, but now it's overgrown. I break my back trying to fix this and still end up alone. But I'll keep trying and trying till it splits me in two. 'Cause I don't think we're working out with every sad attempt. You break it off, I'll break down. 'Cause I don't want us to end. Don't tell me, I'll let it stay in my head. I won't believe our love is already dead. I'll let it disappear slowly. Forget it, really don't tell me. that bad. We're singing or maybe screaming, speeding down 85. When I close my eyes, 'cause I don't think we're working out. But then you smile at me. It's like the sun just came out. How could I ever leave? Don't tell me, don't let it stay in my head. I won't believe our love is already dead. Let it disappear slowly. Forget it, really don't tell me. Don't tell me, don't let it stay in my head. 'Cause I'm crazy, well that's what you always said. Oh baby, do you even want me? Forget it, really don't tell me. You had me believing you were gonna save me. And they say if you love someone, you gotta set them free. You had me believing you were gonna save me. But if you change your mind, then baby, don't tell me. Don't tell me, don't let it stay in my head. I won't believe our love is already dead. Let it disappear slowly. Forget it, really don't tell me. Don't tell me, don't let it stay in my head. 'Cause I'm crazy, well that's what you always said. Oh baby, do you even want me? Forget it, really don't tell me.
Sitting on my own in a hotel room on a rainy day. Sitting on my own with an old guitar, and I'm far away.
So this month I'm going to create my TBR a little bit different than what I usually do. I'm a mood reader, so I tend to pick up books that I really want to read in that moment when I'm making my TBR for the month. I usually pick my books pretty well, and I do pick more books than I need to in the month, so I do have many titles to choose from if I'm not in the mood for a particular book. But for this month, I have chosen half of my TBR already, and the other half I'm going to go with a roll of a dice. I love watching other booktubers do their own TBR games. I'm not really inclined to do my own because I feel like it's a lot of work, but I thought it would be fun to change it up a little bit for this month, and who knows, I might continue on for the rest of the year. The first books I'm going to talk to you about are the books I'm going to be reading for my readathons. This month, I am only participating in one readathon because I feel like I need a break. I know that there are a lot of readathons going on in August, but I just need a little break of those. And the only readathon that I'm participating in every month is the Buzzwordathon. So the concept is pretty simple. There is a buzzword every month, and you just have to read as many books as possible with that buzzword in the title of the book. This readathon usually goes on from the 1st till the 7th of the month, every month, I can't do a 1-week readathon, so I make it last throughout the whole month instead. So for August, the buzzword is time of day. So any time of day. It can be night, midnight, noon, dusk, dawn, morning. So it's pretty vague. So for this buzzword, I chose 2 different books. The first book I chose is A Night of the Mannequins by Stephen Graham Jones. This is a contemporary horror book, and it's about a teen prank that goes wrong. I also have been told not to expect any mannequins in the story. I have heard many mixed reviews about this book, mainly because people expected this book to be about scary and creepy mannequins, and I was told not to expect that. That's all I know, and for me, it's all I need to know going into a horror book. I know this author is pretty known for his horror books. I have never read this author before, so I'm really excited to get into this one. And the second book I'm going to read for the Buzzwordathon is The Night Tiger by Yangzi Chu. This book has already been on my TBR for another buzzword, which was a night, if I remember it correctly, but I haven't had the chance to get to it yet. So I'm putting it back in here, and I'm very excited to read it. This story is set in the 30s in Malaysia, and it follows Ren, an 11-year-old boy who becomes an orphan because his master just died, and he goes on a quest to find his master's severed finger to try and bring it back to his body within 49 days, because if he does not succeed to do it, there's this superstition that his soul will haunt the earth and he will turn into a tiger. I believe he is also accompanied by a young girl throughout his quest. I have heard amazing things about it, and I can't wait to get into it. Next, I have an arc that I plan to read this month. I also have an arc I'm supposed to have been reading for a very long time, and it has been published. I've had technical problems downloading the file and everything. I finally bought the book because I could not access it anymore. I will get to it hopefully pretty soon, but I did not include that one into my August TBR, but I have been approved for a new arc, which I'm really excited about, and it's The Bones of Ruin by Sarah Raleigh. Can we take a minute to admire this cover? I believe this is going to be the first book of a trilogy. This follows Iris, an African tightrope dancer in Victorian London. The twist: she cannot die. I do not need to know more. I'm very intrigued, and I cannot wait to get into it. This book is going to be published on September 7th. I also have 3 other books that I wanted to include into this month's TBR. So the first one I am including in here is The Dragon Republic by R.F. Kuang. So obviously I'm including this one because I have not finished reading it. I'm about 40% into it. I am loving it. It is a 5-star read so far. This is the second book in the Poppy War trilogy. For those of you who do not know, it follows Rin, who is an orphan and manages to enter this elite military school. But before she actually gets to finish and graduate her school, the third Poppy War erupts and she is stuck through the war without having any experience. This is a very dark, grim fantasy, and it is based on the Opium Wars between China and Japan. The other book I'm including in this month's TBR is The Last Magician by Lisa Maxwell. So same thing as The Dragon Republic. I've already started this book, so I plan to finish it this month as well. This was the book for the Buzzwordathon for July that I did not manage to succeed. This book is set in New York City and it has time travel in it. It follows Esta, who has magical abilities, and in this world, people with magic abilities are very frowned upon, and there's this organization that try to chase them and destroy them as much as possible, and they built up a trap on New York City, so the mages that actually get into New York are trapped there, and if they leave, there's this thing called the brink that if you go through it, you will lose all of your magical abilities, and most of them die because of that. And they cannot use their magical abilities in New York City either because they will be executed. And this follows Esta, who has the ability to time travel and stop time, and she needs to go back into time and steal magical artifacts, and she's trying to help out with this revolution and go against this organization. At this moment, I am at 26% of the book, and I'm really loving the writing and the setting. It's a very interesting read, and I cannot wait to finish it. The last book I really wanted to include in this TBR is Game of Thrones by George R.R. Martin. I don't think I need to explain what this book is about. So it is the first book of the series on which the Game of Thrones TV series was based on. I know that the books are not all published yet. I don't think they're all written yet, but I was still very curious to start reading this book. I have it on my reader right now. I don't believe I'll be able to finish it this month, but I do really want to start reading it. I've watched this show many times now, and like a lot of Game of Thrones fans, I was very disappointed with the last 2 seasons, so I'm hoping that the book will redeem this series for me. But I was a big fan from season 1 to 6. I really fell in love with that series. I love the characters. I know that there's much more into the books than what was told to us in the series, and that there's a lot of things that went pretty differently, so I'm very curious to see about that. So I have this book on my reader, and I know that pages on an e-reader can be quite different than physical pages. I believe that the physical book is over 800 pages, and on my reader it's 1800. It's a huge book. So no, I don't believe I'm going to be able to finish this one this month. But if I can at least start it and get some chapters in, I will be very happy with that. So I have my 2 lists here. This is my list for my ebooks, and I have my list for my physical books. I'm going to start with my ebooks first. I'm going to roll the die 3 times to get 3 titles for my ebooks, and then I'm going to do the same for my physical books. So first throw, it is number 8. Number 8 is The Humans. So the first book I got with the dice roll is The Humans by Matt Haig. This is an adult sci-fi. This follows an alien who needs to take control over the body of a deceased math professor. And that professor was not a very good human. He was a bad person, and he learns about his life throughout his mission in his body, and people around him do not know that he is not a real professor, that he's an alien, and he tries to move on and he learns about humans. So I've heard that this is a great book about reflection on humans and where we stand or what we are, and I'm very intrigued by that. I've heard great things. So this is the first time I'm going to be reading from this author, and I know he has a lot of books that are loved in the book community. So hopefully if I like this one, I will probably pick up more books of this author. Second throw, we have number 14. Number 14 is The Flat Chair. The second book I got with this dice roll is The Flat Chair by Beth O'Leary. So this is a contemporary romance. I do not usually read contemporary or romance. It's not a genre that I enjoy that much, but I'm still very happy I got that because I have a lot of fantasy in my TBR right now, and sometimes, even if it's my favorite genre, sometimes I do want to just think about something else before diving into a new fantasy. So if I'm in the mood for a lighter read before getting into the next fantasy book, I know I'll have this option. So this book follows two roommates, one who works day shifts and another roommate who works night shift. They have never met each other, and from what I believe, they do not see each other either. I've heard good things about this one, and I'm pretty happy I got that one. Third throw. Number 12. Number 12 is The Black Kids. So the last ebook I got from the dice roll is The Black Kids by Christina Hammond Reads. This is a YA historical fiction, and it is based on the 1992 Rodney King riots. I do not know much about that. I was pretty young in 1992. I was 3 years old, and I'm not an American, so I do not know much about it, but I'm very interested in this book. I've heard good things about it. I cannot wait to learn more about this. Now for the physical books. First throw for my physical books. Number 14, again. Which is The Beautiful. The first roll I got was The Beautiful by Renee Ahdieh. This is a YA fantasy set in 1872 in New Orleans. It follows Céline Rousseau, who is fleeing from Paris, and she is taken in by a convent, and she is enjoying life in New Orleans until one body shows up in the convent. That's all I know about it. I know that there are 2 more books in this series, and I've heard great things about it. It's also my first time reading from this author. I've heard great things from her writing, so I cannot wait to get to it. Second throw. Number 12. I seem to be rolling the same numbers over and over. Number 12 is A Wolf by Wolf. The next roll I got is A Wolf by Wolf by Ryan Grodin. I have a lot of historical fiction this month. That's interesting. This book is set in 1956 after the World War II. The only difference in this book is that Hitler actually won the war. To celebrate their victory, they host an annual motorcycle race, and the winner of the race gets to meet Hitler in person. In this book, we follow Yael, who can skin shift. She was a prisoner during the war, and she wants revenge on Hitler. So she skin shifts into Adele Wolf, who is the only female racer to have ever won the race. Her goal is to win the race and kill Hitler. I've heard great things about this book, and I don't particularly like World War II settings because I know that there's a lot of them out there, and I've seen a lot of movies on that setting, and I find them hard to read, but this one has a particular twist, and I'm pretty intrigued. And final throw. Number 19. I do not have 19 titles. I only have 17, so I'm going to throw again. Number 3 is The City of Brass. And the last book on this TBR is The City of Brass by S.A. Chakraborty. This is the first book of the Devabad trilogy. It is set in the 18th century Cairo, and it follows Nari, who is a successful con woman, but one day she accidentally summons a jinn warrior who leads her into a quest to find the mythical city of Brass. I've heard amazing things about this book. I've had it on my TBR for many months now, and I cannot wait to get to it. So I don't know if you've noticed, I have a lot of books on this TBR. I know I cannot get to them all, but I prefer having more books so I can have more options to choose from. So I have in total 12 titles to choose from this month. So far, my most successful month, I have been able to read 7 books. So I will obviously not be able to read 12, but I am giving myself the goal to read 8 books. This is the last month I'm going to be able to read as much. I don't know how much free time I'm going to get this month because I will be starting school again at the end of the month. But the month I did read 7 books was a month where I was working full time. So I'm pretty confident I am going to be able to achieve it. And I also have a head start because I have 2 books I've already started to read. So that's it for me today. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Let me know in the comments what books you have on your own TBR. Have you read any of the books I mentioned here? What are your thoughts on them? I would love to know. Hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you want to be notified every time I post a new video. And I will see you in another one. Bye!